beautiful people. Um, that feels like such a YouTube like intro, right? Hey there, beautiful people. Make sure to click like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, or is it follow button? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter because today we're getting in the Word of God, and this is really what matters. So I want to come to you at a passage today. I'm in Psalm. Um, One of the best habits I ever got into was reading a psalm a day. Um, and this is just one of those things that I just always come back to. And I feel like for a lot of these devotionals, I'm kind of combing through some of my favorite passages. So there's a little bit of like, let me just read you some of my favorite verses. And so one of my favorite passages is found in Psalm 61. And we're going to go verses 1 through 3. And it says this: Hear my cry, O God, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth I will cry to you. And focus on this, emphasis on this. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been a shelter for me, a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in your tabernacle forever, and I will trust in the shelter of your wings. Whew. We can just stop right there. But there's this part where it says, lead me to a rock that is higher than I. Another translation will put it this way: not only when my heart is overwhelmed, but when my heart is weak. Have you ever experienced anything in your life where it feels like you have come to the end of you as you know it, right? For me, I've hit this, I would say, wall or hole several times, right? I'm such a go-getter. I can go. I got a high work capacity. I could just work. And then there comes a point where I can't do this all in my own strength. And I hit my end, which is one of the most beautiful things that could ever happen to children of God, is when you yourself, you come to the end of you. Because it's only then where you could allow the Spirit of God to lead you to a place that is higher, that is stronger than you. And he says, lead me to a rock that is higher than I. Right? We think of a rock, we think of something that's strong, that is, these are what mountains are made of. One of my favorite days of my life, we were doing some ministry in Costa Rica, and we got to go on this excursion through the jungle, and it was amazing. We got to rappel off these waterfalls and do these zip lines across the rainforest. It was absolutely amazing. But the place that we had lunch was on top of this mountain there, and this mountain was extremely high, so it was definitely a trek to get there. But I remember when we sat down for lunch, what happened was we were looking out and we were above the clouds, or we were cloud level. And it was crazy because you could see the rain clouds. You could see the dark clouds where yo, that cloud, it's got rain in it. And I remember looking at it eye level and thinking, wow, it's not so stormy up here. But if we were under those clouds and we were down in the valley somewhere, down in the river, we'd have definitely felt the storm. And it's funny because I think of this visual when I think of this passage. Lead me to a rock that's higher than I. When you could get to a place that's higher, things look different. Storms don't feel the same because why? You got a different view. You are much higher. You got different perspective on it. And I think that is how I see this passage. When I think about the Lord and I think about our relationship with Him, I think about this is always available for us. When our heart feels weak, when our heart feels overwhelmed, there is always the opportunity for us to allow the Spirit of God to lead us to a rock that is higher than ours, higher than where we know to be true. And so I feel like that's always the invitation for us children of God, is when you get to the end of you, now that is where the climb really begins. Now you can ascend the mountain. Now you can allow God to lead you to that rock that is higher. And on that rock, it's strong. It's a stable foundation. This isn't sinking sand. This isn't going to change because the winds come. This is going to remain. And that is the place that we are trying to abide in. So I want to challenge you today. Allow the Spirit of God to take you higher, to lead you to a place in Him where the storms of life don't look the same anymore. Bless you.